welcome to another episode of Jimmy's Works. Today we are prepping the focus for the dyno day on the weekend. Just finished work, had to order in spark plugs. Let's grab them. Yeah, so I ordered in some NGK LTR 7IX-11. They are one step colder than the standard focus spark plugs. Did some digging. Stratified recommends these with a specific spark plug gap for a tuned one that's running over 22 plus pounds of boost. Yeah, so we can get the best possible number. I already changed the oil last night. I didn't film it, but I did use the Penrite HPR 5W40. I'll just show you what it actually is. It's this stuff. I only use Penrite in all my cars because Penrite does hot oil blend, which is, when they add all the additives in, gets a proper blend, better oil, and they're Australian made and owned. And just good oil. Can't complain about it. Alright, we'll get on to the focus, the spark plugs. First things first is take off the engine cover. And here we go. And it's just coil unplug, so easy to get to. Should be able to get to it. This one here, hopefully not have to remove or get this intake pipe out of the way. Yeah, actually before that, since it's a nice beautiful day outside, I'm going to crack open a beer, and the engine is still old because I just got home from a half-an-hour drive from work. So I'm going to crack open a beer. Alright, so I've let the engine cool down a bit. I'll give you a quick rundown on what's done to this because I'm going to sell this once my Mark II is ready for me to drive it as a daily, and just give you a quick rundown on what's on the car. And yeah, alright, so it's got a Mishimoto intake. It's got one of these map things from CPE. It's got the CPE intercooler kit for it. It's got a Garrett GTX 67R turbo, 3-inch MRP downpipe with I've got a Cobb short shifter on it, Cobb solid rear engine mount. Got the Cobb access port with a stratified tune on 98. Yeah, that's basically it. It's got a front lip on it, but other than that, it's pretty much stock, so it's like a sleeper, which is nice. And not much copper tension. Alright, we'll get into doing the spark plugs. So I'm not going to get to this one because the intake is in the way, and I'm pretty lazy, so I'm just going to have to use the 8mm spanner because I'm lazy. Guess I could probably take the intake off, but yes. when you do pull coil packs out, it's good to, well, you can either number them with a marker or just lay them out. Like here I've done as in 1, 2, 3, 4, so don't get them mixed up. You know, you can probably mix and match them, but for an engine like this, it is good to have a spark plug socket, so it pulls the spark plug out as, well, here, has the rubber grommet in it, so when it goes down onto it, when you pull it out, it pulls it out with it. If not, you can always just use a normal socket and pull it out with a magnet, but yeah, I prefer a spark plug socket. I don't know if you can see. Looks like it's been running good. I've been keeping an eye on my AFRs and stuff. It's always running perfectly at 14.7. Just shows how good the stratified tune is. The spark plug seems okay. You can see the owner before me used the exact same spark plugs and hopefully gapped into what Stratified said to gap them to, because these are one step colder, which is good for something running a lot more boost, because this is running 24.7 pounds of boost, which is a lot, but it's a low compression engine, because I think they're like 9 to 1 compression. Yeah, looks a little gummed up there. That's probably just anti-seize from the previous owner. But yeah, that's another thing. Always anti-seize your plugs, because you don't want one stuck in there, because that means pulling the head off. Or if you're a rotary guy, that means you fucking engine apart. But yeah, it's not a fun job. Always anti-seize. Remember, I haven't had problems with this car, but yeah, this is just a precaution for when you are going to a dyno. I mean, I've just changed the oil, fresh oil filter, new plugs, gap them properly, make sure they're good, so you can get the best possible number. And it's also just good for car health, but yeah. Alright, we'll get on to the rest. Good thing about these snap-on wrenches is, you know, they're flexy, so you can sort of do this. It's handy. So I've got all the spark plugs out. They seem to be all good. You know, they've all been firing good. And you know, that's pretty good for it's a one-step colder plug, which isn't that bad. I've been daily driving it. Well, it's only a daily driver, but that's pretty good. You know, just that white tinge there means it's good. All the tips are pretty good. This one here, cylinder number 3, looks a bit blacker. Could be just slightly gumming up there, who knows what, but I mean, the tang has a little white tinge, so that means it's pretty good. Yeah. Alright, we'll get the new ones out and we'll gap them. These are the new plugs. They are the same as the one that the owner put in before. They are the LTR 706-11. Stratified recommends these for the Focus ST when running 22 plus PSI or 21 plus PSI. I don't know if you can see that properly. 0.02, that's 0.02. They specify a 0.025 to 0.028, which is in inches, which is, you know, well, Stratified is an American company, so of course they'd use that. Gapping is important because when you got a higher boosted engine, because when you got cylinder pressure coming up, you know, and a lot more cylinder pressure, i.e. boost, or you're a high high compression ratio naturally aspirated, the higher cylinder pressure can distort the spark. So if your tang is set further away from the electrode, it can stop it from arcing across. So a closer gap is recommended, especially for highly modified engines, so you can get the best possible spark. But not too close so you don't get pre-detonation, and not too far away so what's too far away? It'd just be, I think that's, no, that's not detonation. No, you can look it up yourself. I'm a bit tired, but yeah. Alright, so we're gonna gap these plugs, put some anti-seize on them, and then reinstall them. Alright, so I'm just checking how, because this is the first time I've used this type of spark plug gapping tool. I was just using it against a feeler gauge, and I've got a 0.025, and just making sure that I got the measurements right with a feeler gauge. I've got them correct. I checked the old spark plugs that were in, and they weren't gapped properly. They were at about, I think they're at about the previous owner put them in and didn't gap them to what Stratified recommends, which I think might make a difference, but not a big difference, but hopefully a little bit of difference. But yeah, because it's the first time I'm using this tool. Some of them are slightly out, some of them at a 0.026, 0.027, 0.028, so I was going to re-gap them with the 0.025 inch feeler gauge, which is 0.635 mil. Because it's a one-step colder plug, because of the more boost, higher cylinder pressure, there's more heat, and the one-step colder plug helps dissipate the heat. And you gap them so it's a closer gap, because you want the higher cylinder pressure, you want the spark to be able to travel from the electrode to the earthing tang. Now I've gapped the plugs. I'm going to use some anti-seize. You can use aluminum, copper. All I have at the moment is copper. I left my aluminum anti-seize at work. Copper will do, as long as it's anti-seize, it should be fine. When you want to apply it at the tip of the thread, and just a handy helping, because when you screw it in, it'll follow the threads all the way up, and so you don't seize a spark plug into your head and then cause major problems. So I shall do that now. One thing I forgot to mention is, because these are a spark plug without a washer, they need to be torqued down, because they don't have a washer, and only a crush washer spark plug. You seat them so when the washer just touches the mating surface, and then you do half a turn or whatever the spark plug manufacturer specifies. NGK is normally half a turn. Yeah, because these don't have a washer, it's a torque. They don't have a torque specification. It just says the socket size on it, which is, but yeah, one quick look on Google, you'll find the torque specs, and yeah, just make sure you get the right torque specs. So when putting spark plugs on, what I normally do is chuck them into a spark plug socket, and then I want to do them in by hand. So you just chuck them down in, get them straight so you don't knock up your earthing tang, so your gap is still correct. Once they're all in, then you can go down, torque them all, and just check them over again. And then once they're done, make sure you can feel it go onto the spark plug, because they are a push fit. Just make sure you feel it seat all the way down onto the spark plug. If not, we'll find out shortly. And don't forget to plug in the coil packs, or else it'll mess fire, but it'll be easy to determine the problem. Yes, always remember to plug them in, and in the correct one. Always remember when starting a keyless car, remember to have the key in the car, because it won't start. I'll let her warm up a bit, then I'll take her for a quick drive, see how she goes. First it was pretty good. No real difference. Oh, it's been a while since I've had it in truck mode and given it a hit, but give it another hit up this hill. Very noticeable. Now I'll give you a go. It's noticeable because there's no exhaust, but Alright, so today's dyno day. Just checked over the coolant and oil before I went, see if I need to top up. Which is all good, so I'm gonna hit the legs and see how the dyno is. So the dyno day went well. Did it with Conspiracy Crew. They put on a good day. We had lunch. It was a bit windy, a bit rainy, but the Focus did well. No problems. So we made 211 kilowatt. Don't know what RPM because I went by road speed, but I'm guessing they went up to redline, which is 6.5. But the AFR was pretty good throughout the whole. Went a bit lean up here, but it was good through the rest of it. A solid 12 to 13. I'm not sure if their rating's good, but the AFR thing went in the back of the exhaust, so don't know how that is, but on the cob it just reads a solid 14.7 when you're on throttle the whole time. But could be wrong, could be right. No, but that is a pretty linear curve. That's what the GTX 2867 does. You know, you gain some power. I'm pretty sure stock is 180 kilowatt, but The stock turbo is so small, you're hitting, you get all your power up early, and then it just drops off. But this one, it comes on late, but that's what makes it feel faster, because when you're top of the gear, your power is right up the top, so it just gains, and it makes it feel really fast. But they don't have a torque rating on this, which kind of sucks, but did some calculations on torque just from that number. It's around 345 Newton meters. I don't know where max would be, but it'd be nice to see that. But we did well, so that is a pretty good, nice linear curve, which proves the turbo is really good. But after the Dyno day, I think it was about a week or two later, I lent the car to a mate just for one day. He was driving it fine, and all of a sudden it just had a misfire. I checked it. I swapped the coils with 3 and 4 because I checked on the cob and it said it had a misfire on cylinder 4. I just quickly swapped the coil packs just to see if it would change where the misfire was, but it still stayed on misfire cylinder 4. So I just guessed it was a spark plug. So could be a dud plug, could be something else, but today we're going to find out. Alright, so we'll get into it. I'll take out the coil pack, check the spark plug. I had to order in a spare spark plug, but yeah. Alright, so we'll get into that, take the coil out, spark plug out, check it. If it's all good, chuck the other one in, see how it goes. As you can see, the spark plug's pretty wet, so I don't know what's happened, but looks like there's no internal damage. It could be just a dud plug. So we'll chuck the new one in, see if it fixes it. I've already pre-gapped the other plug, so all I have to do is just chuck some anti-seize on it, chuck her in, put the coil back on, start her up, and see if we get rid of the misfire. Before we start, I'm going to turn on the cob and clear the fault codes, and then start it. It's one really cool thing about the cob is you can do 6 gauges, read codes, cylinder 4 misfire detected. There we go. Clear codes. I'll go back to gauges. And we'll start it again. Seems to still have a misfire. I wonder if it could be an injector. I'm gonna just let it warm up. We'll take it for a drive. It is sounding better. Just hopefully it clears up. If not, then I don't know, because these are sort of like diesel injectors. Well, it's direct injection, but I might have to get someone like a proper Ford diagnostic kit or something to have a look at it, so you can see actual values for like injectors, coil pack and stuff, because I don't think it's the coil pack. It could be the wiring to the coil pack. It's either one of those, but that's a new spark plug, so I doubt it's a spark plug. So yeah. So I'm back from the road test, well, test drive. Didn't get very far at all. Misfire. But no codes were thrown, so I'm not really sure what it could be, but I'm probably just gonna send it to Ford and see what they have to say, because they have special tools for it. They can just plug into it, see what's wrong. But I do not have warranty, so whatever the cost is, I have to pay the full thing. But oh, that's just cars. I would like to do it, but I don't really have time. I'm messing with the JZX, and I still have to get around to rebuilding the motor in the RX-7. And also, if it is a bit more major than what I think it is, I don't really want to pull apart those engines. I don't know anything about them. They're not simple. Some things you need special tools for. Hopefully Ford can sort it out. I really can't be bothered working on this thing. That's just a me problem. I can't be bothered working. I'll happily work on the RX-7 and the JZX, but not the Focus. But that'll be the end of this video. Thank you for watching. Enjoy, stay safe, and most important of all, have a good time.